They talk about disaster them we can take place in the country where every rain can come. Mange Mansari gets more and go now report.
Every year during the rainy season, country they experience disaster, especially in Afriton. Usai flooding don't they happen and stone don't they roll pan people and the mudslide. Usai plenty people don't die and people don't lost them property them from the disaster we can happen. As the country they experience the rainy season now, make radio democracy go work at a different community them. Usai disaster don't they happen.
Presently, the situation will say Dwazak itself na a threat because of the environment itself, na a threat. Whenever rain they come, we can already in that because a community where we get a lot of hanging stone, the big stone that we call boulder, a hang with a very dangerous stone. That stone can just cut out at any time from now. A lot of damage. Put away the lady, where really come, the house they're very close and afraid. Where government really come in through ONS for they help that community there.
And a chairman all of community. Now main drainage will be come right up pick off farm, cardon. And people in the community they may try for law able to make that routine in there. Every year when they make that routine there, that water go broke that place no way. And it cause problem, cause flooding, and then also they will do. In fact, good for little people and live on that side. If you reason this, now the 800 people in the day.
That na people na the Dwazak and Ulwaf community been they talk about the disaster where can happen and then community them. Other community where been get concerned but the disaster where can happen to them during the rainy season. Now the God rich community who say have been talked to one concerned member now the community. Now this even get for say.
When I got each community, now they I belong. We get side the way damage when I like the bridge, when I did the picking and they pass for go school. But before, we did not be the bank, then wetland, we government say enough for bank, the sand mine not be the gone, we water full, the water be the gone at the extreme end, so that the bridge not be the cover. But since we get people away guys, then we get bank for sell give the people them. So that now the place don't choke, water no they reach at the south side they reach again. Where water full, the bridge they cover. So that they make problem they happen in school. Because the people where they access this bridge, you get the over funkia where we get over 3,000 to 4,000 people in day. Could because over the God reach now the schools and now the hospital. We self they ask for let people help we, let government help we.
The Culverts community. Now the eastern part na Freetown, na place where don't they experience flooding every year. Outside people can lose their life and property them. We make the community leader, Jubil Bangura, get concerned about the different disaster them. Where don't they happen at them community here?
The history of Culvert community in terms of flooding starts all the way in 2015. The threat we don't get in addition, this hill bypass road, we start from Black Hole Benz Garage up to Mountain Court. Half of the drainage and divert and candle that Black Culvert community. At all they come up the hill and they Mount Orel. All inside they go down at the sea from Bay Road to Wataki area. Now they go there because they don't divert the water candle that Benz Garage where all they come. In 2019 will be the highest flood we experience. Let the help we love we see because we don't start to get this year 2020. For love we see that to go able for mitigate this particular threat to this community.
For sake of them concern they are, where them community people they don't raise. Make Abingo na the Office of National Security na the Disaster Unit, who side the Deputy Director, Sineman Saye, explain, but the concern them, where them people they are don't raise.
So we next steps for some communities who say say you get hanging boulders, we get for go do quick assessment and bring the institution where you responsible for resolve that problem, make it resolve them. Because disaster management, as everybody know, not to one person responsible, a multi-sectoral thing. Everybody gets role for play, so we want to let everybody play that role for long move forward. It's not happen now, but it's a very serious situation because if we not address them, we'll just let them like that, then disaster be then a serious problem for the country and for the community that they live. So we not go sit down for make them thing and they be. We get for take action.
For help reduce then disaster they are, where can happen every rainy season. Freetown City Council been don introduce flood mitigation as way for reduce the plenty flood them where can happen rainy season. Even Akisoya, now the mayor for the Freetown City Council, explain how them plan for doing this year.
The idea behind the flood mitigation now how we go able for reduce the risk of flooding. And we all know say you were able to do something in a short term, but you really need to do things that way in a longer term. But once you be able for put yourself in order for the longer term, the short term very important, and it can save life and property. So where we do for the flood mitigation, we did go systematically through the city, point to point, for look the area there when a day the flooding can sort of like rise up because gutter block, culvert block. So all the internet we go identify them, and then we now move through the city day by day by day. Normally we can take about 3 to 4 weeks. We do phase 1 at the start of the rainy season. Then as the rainy season they go on, we come back, we do phase 2.
Even Akisoya end up say, then they work together with partner them for tap the flooding waking happen during rain season na Freetown. For Radio Democracy, Mange Mansare, the report.
The program na Good Mornin Salone we come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, from the report today, we come na the studio and talk to one of the studio guests them. We na Dr. Ford from the Traffic and Transportation Engineering Department at the Office of the Presidential Infrastructure Initiative. You don't talk about the street lights, traffic lights. We also mentioned about the pedestrian walkway. Right. These projects also, when will they implement them and how will they implement them?
Well, we not get a specific time as to when we implement them. So for now, all we can do, we conduct the feasibility studies, right? So we look at 5 possible locations, right? So we gonna need to go out in the field and do some survey, do some geotechnical analysis, like the soils and all of that, and then we'll do some measurements, right? Because now based on that, we're gonna know how, the length and then the height of the elevated pedestrian walkways would be, right? So once we do all of that, we'll therefore look at different alternatives, different designs, right? Engineering designs, architectural designs then. And then we come up with a cost. So we'll look at how much the different alternatives go cost we, you understand? So now that's we therefore do. And then at the end of the day, we go choose the one who think say we go recommend for implementation.
When you go to the Eastern Police, you see they don't put rails for okay. People worker. Is it the kind of project we talk about now?
Well, yes, that will be part of it because you need to guide the pedestrians, right? You need to protect them. So you guide them for, at the end of the day, even if you construct pedestrian walkway, right? You therefore force the pedestrians to use the walkways, right? I mean, and I think another part of this, in the long run, that we need for explain to people, right, why it's important for them to use pedestrian walkways. Because it's not going to make sense you spend lots of money for construct the pedestrian walkways and people not use them. So another way for them, in addition to enlightening them, and for also force them to use them. So you provide guide rails, right? So you get no choice, you're not going to cross the roadway. So you use the guideway, you are channeled, and then you go, you climb, you cross. Because for your own safety.
Them 3 projects you talk about, street lights, traffic lights, and pedestrian walkway. Is it the same project so we're not implement the same time, one time go?
Yes, that is the plan. So the plan is for implement them at the same time. Yes, that is the plan.
For Freetown or all over the country?
For Freetown, for now, as I mentioned earlier, now for Freetown now.
All the projects then?
Yes, all the 3 projects and for Freetown. And then in the future, we will look at in the provinces.
So now it's not the time frame where we look at here for
the feasibility studies?
The feasibility studies and the project itself.
For the feasibility studies, the first 4 months, now the data collection, data analysis, and and then the last 2 months, well, for the pedestrian bridges, of course, we'll therefore do, as I say, we'll therefore do different designs, right? So we'll do all of that within the first 4 months. And then the last 2 months, now the pilot study I mentioned earlier for the traffic lights. So therefore, actually, we install traffic lights, them, 2 critical intersections, and then we assess them.